Okay, so today I want to talk about the 3 methods to songwriting. The reason why is because it's something I've gotten better at over the years, it's near and dear to my heart, and it's something I feel that I excel at exceptionally well over everything else. And if you're new here, my name is Rigdon. I'm a musician and audio engineer, and my goal is to help find your sound. Okay, so the first method I want to talk about is anticipated songwriting. Anticipated songwriting is expecting your creative juices to flow at any given moment. It's probably the best and worst state of mind to be in as a songwriter, in my opinion. Expectation is not a guarantee, so you definitely don't want to be in this category if you're a beginner songwriter. However, this method is more for the seasoned songwriter that has their mental flow state in constant motion. What I mean by this is, take Isaac Newton's first law of motion, for example. A body at rest stays at rest. A body in motion stays in motion. You can apply the same concept to your creative mind. A mind in motion stays in motion. You have to exercise your creative mind by repetition and practice. An athlete doesn't compete without training or practice, right? This same concept applies to your mind as a songwriter. You can't write a meaningful or impactful song if your mind isn't trained for it. Being creative is definitely more of an enigmatic process than a calculated one, but you can still train your mind to be more receptive to a routine, to become more inspired frequently. Which brings me to the next method, which is inspired songwriting. Inspired songwriting is the most obvious. This is the type of songwriting that is solely written from inspiration. For example, this could be from being inspired by your favorite artist or a specific song or sound, or a physical moment in time like taking a walk, enjoying a nice view in nature or something like that. We all get inspired by different things. Most people get inspired by tragedy or hardships. It's probably the most focused energy when creating. I don't think it's because we as artists love negativity. I think it's because we all love to triumph through hardships. And to put that situation on display for people to see that we're all human, we're all the same, and to connect with us. Inspiration feeds creativity and vice versa. That's the cycle, and it runs on itself as long as you remain in constant motion. Just like when I explained Newton's first law. Your creative mind needs to stay in constant practice or motion to really benefit from frequent inspiration. Now, the third type of songwriting is intentional songwriting. Intentional songwriting is one that we all hope to achieve, knowing exactly what we want to create. There's no waiting period, there's no writer's block, and there's nothing directly inspiring you. You just immediately know exactly what you want to create and create it. It almost just comes to you. To fall into this method, you have to practice. Practice sitting at your desk, hold your instrument, and put the pen to paper, in other words. It doesn't matter if your idea is a bust. You have to keep pushing through it every single time you sit down to create. Save all of your ideas, even the bad ones. Most ideas are just bad in that moment. You can always repurpose that idea for another song. It's just a good practice to keep everything that you write for this purpose. Intentional songwriting is written with purpose and feeling. That's why songs written with this method retain an audience. People love to actually connect with music and their favorite artists. A sure example way of finding out if you've written a song with intention that connects with people is when they reach out to you and say things like, "This song changed my life. I can relate to this," or "I can't tell you how much I needed to hear this." Of course, not all songs written this way will garner that attention. And maybe you've written an impactful song like this without people giving you the praise. You can always just look at your Spotify numbers to see if people are listening to that song more than your others. There's always different ways to gauge this. In conclusion, these are all just methods, not categories. You're not just one type of songwriter. We all write songs that come from each of these methods. But to stay in the intentional and inspired methods, you've got to keep moving and creating. It's like muscle memory. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes and knows exactly what to do, kind of like a reflex. I hope this has helped you in some way or opened your mind into thinking more introspectively about your approach to songwriting. I'm not claiming to be a staple in this subject, but this is just how I perceive writing music. So if you want to hear more about this subject, leave me a comment. If you have a specific approach or philosophy behind songwriting, also comment. I'd really like to know what you guys think. But that's all I have time for today. God bless you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.